As difficult because it was telling him that, I'm moreover so thankful that God permitted me to be the one to tell him, so he didn't need to be alone when he listened the news, Savannah said of breaking the news to Todd. Savannah Chrisley is reviewing the troublesome minute she had to break the news to her father Todd Chrisley that Nick Kerdiles had kicked the bucket. Whereas perusing her mother Julie Chrisley's letters from government jail amid a modern scene of her podcast, Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley, Savannah, 26, opened up approximately how she learned of her previous fiance's passing, whereas on a flight to see Todd, 54, at the Pensacola government jail camp. When I was told that Nick got in mischance and didn't make it, I fair fell apart on the plane, like there was no controlling it, she said. I was getting to see father, and I ought to be the one to tell him and chase Chrisley. I strolled into that jail going by room a hot mess, let me tell you, like fair cosmetics all over my face, Savannah proceeded. I got cosmetics wipes out, so I might fair take it all off my confront. But I strolled in, and Dad just knew when he saw me. He was like, "What's off base? What's wrong?" And I couldn't get words out, she reviewed. I just said Nick, and as difficult because it was telling him that I'm too so thankful that God permitted me to be the one to tell him, so he didn't have to be alone when he listened the news. Kerdiles died on September 23, 2023 at age 29 from wounds related to a cruiser mishap. Agreeing to WRKN News 2, the previous proficient hockey player hit the driver's side of a BMW. Kerdiles was taken to an adjacent clinic where he afterward passed on. Kerdiles and Savannah began dating in November 2017 and afterward got locked in any case in July 2020. Savannah shared with People that the engagement and wedding was off, clarifying the two were just attempting to discover our put in this world. In September of that same year, Savannah shared on Instagram that the couple had decided to call it stops. She included at the time, "There's no scorn between the two of us, and in all genuineness, that produces saying farewell indeed harder. We have nothing but adore, regard, and admiration for one another, but it's time for us to move forward individually." Somewhere else in this week's scene of Unlocked, Savannah clarified that Todd and Nick were best friends, which got to be a sore point. There was a fracture between father and I, since I felt like he chose Nick over me at times, and I'm like, "I'm your girl, select me," she clarified. But presently I'm so thankful that he chose Nick in so numerous troublesome moments. Since Kerdiles' passing, Savannah has paid tribute to him a few times on Instagram, counting a touching post in September 2023 communicating incredulity over his misfortune and appreciation for the time they shared. Fair since a few things do not work out or do not final until the end of time, doesn't make them less uncommon or less meaningful, she composed within the caption. We learned how to cherish together. We learned how to be grown-ups and business people and experts. We attempted modern nourishments, investigated unused cities, and made so numerous recollections along the way. Our time in San Diego will continuously be extraordinary to me. It's where we began, and I so gravely wish I seen bounce on a flight and you be there holding up on me.